Good morning, FlossTube. This is Deb or Deborah. Welcome to the Science Knitster channel. It is Sunday, June 7th, about just after 8 o'clock in the morning. I was hoping, I guess I should have started this a little bit earlier when the sun was coming in, but I've got every light on in the place, so hopefully we'll have enough light for you to see what I want to show you today. This is a channel about all the crafty things I like to do with fiber and often with needles, mainly cross stitch, but I do have some spinning related haul to show you at the end. Excuse me. So lately I've been starting with whatever beverage that I'm drinking. Usually I have water and something else. This morning I have a cup of tea. I decided this morning because I was having a blueberry scone from a recipe that I got off the Skinny Taste website, low-fat blueberry scones. I decided to have British brunch from Smith Tea for my tea this morning. And I'm drinking it in my almond blossom mug from Stash Tea, based on a Van Gogh painting. And I'm coveting some of their other ones. There's a sunflower one I want, and they have one for Starry Night, which is one of my favorite Van Goghs. So, excuse me. So I really like the scone recipe from Skinny Taste. It's pretty easy to make, and it comes together pretty fast. The secret is starting with butter that's frozen, and then you actually I lost the word, but you grate it. You actually grate it. Get your grater out and grate it, and then it all comes together pretty quickly. But anyway, so I highly recommend that recipe. It's available for free on her website, Skinny Taste, all one word, skinnytaste.com. She has several other scone recipes too. Scones, as we call them in the US. I believe the British pronunciation is scone. So if you're British, let me know. Am I remembering that correctly? I have friends who are British and Irish, and I believe that's how they pronounce it. I think. Anyway, you're not here to hear about scones or scones and tea. You're here to hear about crafty things. So let me get to that. So I don't have any finishes. I've mainly been working on big projects lately. In fact, I've been thinking I need to pick up one of my smaller pieces that's almost done. Like I have The Personal is Political by Michelle Bendy Stitchy's been sitting in a bag near where I sit and stitch, and every once in a while I kind of rifle through that bag because there's several whips in there, and I see that one like I really should get that out. It's almost finished, but there were some personalizations that I wanted to make, and I'm just dithering about exactly what I want to do. So so that's one of the reasons that one's been sitting there. But if I have time at the end, I'll talk about some of my plans and show you a couple of things that I'm thinking about starting or getting back to. Small things, just to sort of have a feeling of accomplishment that I actually got something done. Okay, so no finishes, but I do have a new start, so let me talk about that. This is something that I've been planning to start for a while, like since the beginning of the year, pretty much, and just finally getting to. Actually, the reason it came up is that it was in my WIPGO goals, and I've been like a total fail on, well, not total, mostly fail on WIPGO until very recently. I was doing good right at the beginning, and then I got obsessed by Ann Roberts, Hands Across the Sea sampler, Ann Roberts, and that was all she wrote. So anyway, I'm getting actually decided just to use my WIPGO goals as a guide, because I'm really been more in a stitch what you want when you want mood, and or like do whatever you want when you want mood, mainly stitching. But anyway, my new start was the Bristol Squirrel Sampler, and this was available free on, I believe it was on the Bristol Sampler Facebook group. Miriam Chauvet, I believe, or Chauvet, I think is how you pronounce her name. I think she's either French or Belgian. Right here. I believe she runs that group, or at least she's in that group, and that's where this was available. Lots of folks have had this on Instagram, like, you know, from the beginning of the year. I'm apparently a late bloomer. Anyway, I had fabric and threads picked out a long time ago, and it came up in my Whip Go goals for this month, and I was like, you know what? On June 1st, I'm ready for just something different. So I'm stitching this one on 40 count R&R antique cotton, and it's a little bit darker and not so peachy in real life. Like maybe that's pretty close. And the thread that I'm using is Threadworks 10051. So I've got 3 letters in so far. I probably could have, so I worked on this the first 5 days. My goal was to do 5 days on this. And you know, one of those days was about 10 or 20 stitches because that's all I had time for or energy for. Anyway, so I got these 3 letters. For some reason, I decided it was easier to count down than across. And I was almost done with this Q. That's actually a Q. I know it might look like an O, but it's a Q. Trust me. But I was almost done with this Q. I was filling in the middle when I was on FaceTime with my BFF Susan yesterday and realized it was 1 stitch too high. And that's not something you can fudge. And I was like, crap, I'm going to have to take the whole thing out. But it turned out I only had to take out about 2/3, just the way that I had stitched it. It came out pretty easily. And I was able to get the rest of it back in yesterday. I had some other things I needed to do. So this is just, that was the 5th day. I may get this out on days like I'm too tired to think too much and don't want to worry about color changes or having to count more than about 4 or 5, up to 4 or 5. Letters are pretty easy, mostly, when your brain is tired. Whoops. Oh. Excuse me. I just realized I forgot to put the chart back in there. Okay, let me just put this aside. So that was my new start so far for this month. There might be more. We'll see. And then another thing. So let me go to whips. What have I been working on? And I'm going to do it loosely in chronological order. So I've got my book open here. I don't get fancy like Brenda and Laura with stickers and everything. I just kind of write what I've been working on. I've been using these notes to keep track of what my Whip Go goals are for that month. So I did actually finish one of my 2 Whip Go goals last month too. I'll get to that in a minute. So I've actually completed both Whip Go goals for this month already because the Bristol Squirrel was one, and one was choose a hat sampler. And when I was obsessed with Ann Roberts, like I kind of like got ahead. I think I've used up all my choose a hat sampler from my Whip Go board. But so I'm really, like I said, I'm kind of using it more as a guide when I'm like not really, when I get sort of restless, like I don't know what I want to work on. You know, I'll look at the Whip Go goals and see if anything appeals. And fortunately, the Bristol Squirrel and Kringles, which I'll show you in a little bit, were calling to me once I, you know, got the inspiration. Okay, the another thing I worked on a little, especially not this last week, but the week before, right after my last FlossTube, I worked a little bit on one of the projects in this kit from Stitchly that they sent me to review, and I need to finish my review. I've talked about this a little bit, so I don't know if you can tell. I figured when I was extremely tired, I thought this is a good one to get out because all you have to do is follow the colors. No counting involved. So you're just, you know, it's painted and you just follow. So I don't, oh, there you go. I don't have a lot done on this, and I've been using the materials, and this, I think I pointed out last time, based on the numbers, these look like they're DMC threads, and no, the threads are fine. The Ada feels a little stiff to me, but I think this would be fine for a beginner stitcher, especially if they're stitching in a hoop, and you know, several hoops come in here. And the only thing, you know, I actually read their directions and followed their directions. I've already talked about, I think for a beginner, it would be better to teach, have like the loop method, since you're doing 2/2 or using 2 threads on Ada. I managed to mangle the threader there. I think you can see it there. I don't know how I managed to do that, but I managed to mangle the threader. There's actually 2 of them. The other one still looks good. But their needle, I think, is number 1, too long, and number 2, too sharp. It says it's a blunt end, and it's not like sharp, but it's sharper than a regular tapestry needle. So if you were going to give this kit to a friend who wanted to learn how to cross stitch, or like, you know, a young person, I would replace the needles with regular tapestry needles. The eye of the needle is really nice, you know, and it's gold, so it makes it a little bit easier to see. But for me, the way I stitch, that needle is a little too sharp. I've been piercing the Ada with it, not meaning to, obviously, and I've poked myself a few times, but I wanted to try their stuff. So that's how that's going so far. Once I get this stitched, I am going to follow the directions to wet this, and it's supposed to make the painted stuff go away. So I want to make sure that that actually happens. Who knows when that will be? Okay. So, so I worked on that, and oh, there it is. Worked on that after, I think I worked on that. I had worked on it and showed it last time, and then I worked on it that evening, I believe, of my last FlossTube, which would have been the 23rd of May. Another thing I've been working on, or have worked on a little bit for Merry 25 stitching, I worked on Feliz Navidad by Blackbird. This also worked for the Blackbird week sal, so I didn't stitch the whole week, but I stitched part of it that Abby Bella stitch, and I always forget to look up who else. She and someone else are sort of hosting this, not sort of, they're hosting on Instagram a Blackbird week sal near the end of each month. It's not exactly the end. Originally I thought it was exactly the end of each month, but it's not exactly. I think it starts like on a Thursday and goes through a Wednesday, something like that. So I decided, since I finally was going to join in for the week, my part of the week, on the 25th of May, that I would get out Feliz Navidad and also stitch for Merry 25. So let me show you that. So I'm using the called for linen and the called for threads. So this is 36 count Legacy. Let me see. And I'm not one of those people that irons their cross stitch before they show it. Yeah, there we go. It's it is, those of you that have used Legacy, you know it has a slight green tinge to it, so this is coming out more brown on the camera than in real life. And here are the called for threads on my ring. This is just a binder ring that I got from Amazon. So I'm pretty happy with my progress. I put in some more of the border, put in the little apples or cherries or whatever they are, and put in this one, this border, inner border, and a few letters here and there. I think I added some letters. That work's been really busy lately, so even though the semester's over, I'm still trying to finish up some stuff from spring semester. For those of you that are new, I am an instructor at a local community college and also chair of my department. So things get busy sometimes. Okay, another thing that I've worked on. I worked on it a little bit, not this past week, but the week before. Worked on it for Sampler Sunday, last Sunday, and on Memorial Day. Martha Dawson came out of timeout. I had made some boo-boos on the counting, and it was frustrating me, especially for the border. So I was like, okay, time out. But here she is. This is a Hands Across the Sea sampler. This is the sampler that is the stitch along in the Our Sampler Years group for this year, the official stitch along. And I restarted it in April, May, I forget. I had started it in January and then didn't work on it for a while, and then realized I had a big boo-boo in it, even though I hadn't gotten very far. It was easier to just take out the whole thing than to, excuse me, than to try to fix what I had done. So I just flipped to another spot and restarted her. Maybe that's the best way to hold it. So I got some more motifs in, and kind of have left the border alone for now. And I think I'm going to try to get some motifs in, and I'm going to try to do some of the over one next. I need to finish this motif here. It's flowers in a pot. You can see I kind of stopped in the middle. I don't remember why. To work on something else, I guess. Or maybe it was time to stop for the night. I've been trying not to, let's just say I've been known to stay up too late stitching. And since I've been so tired, I've been so busy, I've been forcing myself to, oops, I forgot to show my threads. I've been forcing myself to stop at a reasonable time. So I'm stitching on the same, the 40 count purled barley that the model was stitched on, but I'm using my own over-dye conversion. And I'll admit, I had a total fangirl moment when Laura of Brenda and the Serial Starter messaged me on Instagram asking for my over-dye conversion because she wanted to stitch Martha just like me. So that was kind of exciting. So I sent her a picture of my notes because I haven't like typed up anything. So if you're really interested in conversion, if you're on Instagram, you can message me. I can send you a copy of the photo that I sent Laura. At some point, I'll actually type it up. I do have a blog that I haven't blogged in centuries, and I've been thinking that I could post like conversions and stuff there. I still haven't posted my conversion for Ann Roberts, but I think I'm gonna do some more of these conversions. I think I've mentioned before, at first, when I did Ann Roberts, and even when I first started my conversion for Martha Dawson, it was kind of taking some time, and I was thinking, oh, it's taking time from my stitching. And then I kind of got into it, and like, this is part of the process. This is what makes it fun and makes it interesting, and collecting all your materials. And so I've decided probably I will be doing a lot of the hat samplers this way. Not all of them. There's some I definitely want to stitch like in the 103 silk on a finer count linen, but I've decided anything I want to stitch on like 36 or 40, I'm just going to do my own over dye conversion. And that'll just be part of the fun of the whole thing. So we'll see how that goes. If you watched my last episode, you know I just got a boatload of hat samplers from a sale at Sassy Jack's. Okay, so what else have I worked on? I have one more thing. Is this the last? Yes, this is the last thing I've been working on. Because I already showed my Bristol squirrel, which is the latest thing I've been working on. But I finally got back to Kringles from Little House. So when this came out at market last year, I was like, I gotta have it. I want to start it right away. And did I? No. I did finally start it, I think like last July. And I don't know. I started up on the roof, and for some reason it just hasn't really called to me. But I put it on my Whip Go, and it came up, I think, in April. And I didn't work on it at all. I was going to work on it, start on it for Merry 25, but I ended up working on Feliz Navidad instead, because it was Blackbird week sale time. But decided to get this out on the 27th of May, and I worked on it for 5 days. So I met my Whip Go goal, and I got a window in and some other stuff. So I'm pretty, the light here is really crappy this time of day. Anyway, I am stitching this not at all on the called for. This is 40 count sterling, but I am using the called for threads. The only substitution I'm going to make is the Petite Treasure braid, or the Treasure braid, whatever it was. The metallic is not going to work on 40 count, so I'm going to try Kreinik blending filament of about the same color and see how that works. Let me see if is that any better? No. Oh, I know what I forgot. I lied. I don't have every light in the place on. Pardon me. I forgot to turn my Dublin lamp on. I'm not sure this is going to help. Maybe a little. But anyway, it's looking grayer than it is in real life. In real life, it has a slight green tinge to it. Picture this plus sterling, 40 count. So I think I will work on this one some more this month. I think I want to try to get, I'm either going to work down so I can like work on one of these windows, or I'm going to try to get like the whole roof in. I haven't decided yet. Because once I got the main part of one of these windows in, it was just fill in, and that's something I could easily work on when I'm tired. Because summer session starts tomorrow. Am I ready? Partly. Partly. I have to say, I'm really hoping we're back face-to-face in the fall. I'm really missing the interaction with my students. This past semester, I taught what we call asynchronously. And so I didn't have regular meeting times with my students. So it wasn't even, a lot of times students don't really want to show their face, or sometimes some will talk, some just like to chat in the chat box. But I didn't even get that interaction. So yeah, I'm looking forward to being back face to face. Hopefully we won't get any of those weird variants explode and ruin everything. So fingers crossed. I did want to come back to Oh Joyous Day. This is the one that I'm working on right now. I already showed. Did I show? No, I didn't show. This is what I showed it last time. Did I show? No, I did not show this one. So this is Blackbird. Blackbird Designs. I'm having a day here. Oh Joyous Day. And I picked this up yesterday evening after I'd put some work into the Bristol sampler, the Bristol Squirrel sampler. And it is the first weekend of June, and Brenda and Laura of Brenda and the Cereal Starter are hosting there, and with some other people too. I don't know. I should not speak when I don't know what I'm talking about, right? Anyway, I decided to work on this for their Blackbird Weekend Sale, and also I had picked this up last Sunday. I forget when. You know, it might have been a day. I forgot to write it down. There's another sale. Those of you that are really into samplers probably watch Brenda and the Cereal Starter and know that Brenda's been having some health issues. And so somebody, I forget who, started a For the Love of Brenda sale. So I had picked this up and stitched it one day. Mainly because I thought, excuse me, Oh Joyous Day, looking forward to whatever the health issues were resolved. And then on their most recent FlossTube, which I didn't get a chance to watch until yesterday, Brenda had found out she has lymphoma. And so I decided to pick this back up again for the weekend sale. So again, doing double duty, Blackbird Weekend Sale and For the Love of Brenda sale. And I'm stitching this one on the called for 36 count legacy linen from Picture This Plus using the called for threads, except for the ones where they noted that there was only a little bit needed, and you could use easily use the DMC because there was so little of it needed. So I decided to use the DMC for those that I didn't have the overdyes. I wasn't gonna buy the overdye for a minimal amount of stitching. But so since the last time I showed this, I think I stitched some more borders, and I started putting in this floral motif. Decided it was time to start putting in some motifs. So and I'm gonna work on this again today for my stitchy time. Okay, so now I'm finished showing everything that I've been working on. Yeah, I totally forgot because I hadn't flipped over to June and remembered that I actually worked on Oh Joyous Day last night. So that's all the things I've been working on, but I do have a bit of haul. So let's get to that. So last month, May, end of April, I forget. Rogue Stitching had a sale on all their Picture This Plus in stock, only what was in stock. I'm a, I forget what they call it, Primo member or something, because I ordered some from them early on. I forget. So I actually got access to the sale a day before, but I was too busy at work, so didn't tune in until like the next day when everybody else had access, like the whole world had access to it. And I was like, there's probably not gonna be anything, but there was. So let me show you what I got. I don't remember why I wanted this, but I did. It was for something in particular, or maybe it was just because Nicole has mentioned this one. This is Picture This Plus Ren, 36 count. So all of these are 36 or 40 count. So this will, I think, work for a nice sampler or something from Blackbird, or it's a nice neutrally brownish. It's actually more golden brown than it's showing up. I need to figure out this lighting thing, obviously. And then this is Legacy, 36 count. It came out more brown this time. I don't really notice a green tinge to it, even in real life. It's very different to me. It looks different. It's darker, and it looks just, so this is Legacy also. It's darker and also 36, so it's not, so I don't know. But that's okay, you know, with hand dyed fabrics and threads, you know, people aren't machines. It's not going to be exactly the same every time. And that's okay. So actually, I don't see a whole lot of difference between the Legacy and the Ren, but that's okay. And then this is Sand. And this one is also 36 count. So I think when I ordered these, I think there was more available in 36 count. And I kind of have been thinking that 36 count is sort of my sweet spot, but I have quite a few things going on 40 count now, like the Bristol Sampler, the Kringles. Oh, Martha Dawson's actually on 40 count. So, and I've been enjoying those, so. And then I was trying to get some 40 count Ren. I thought I had ordered 40, well, I had ordered 40 count Ren, but it turned out there was a mistake on their, guess whatever keeps track of their inventory behind the scenes of their website. So they gave me a call, and I ended up picking some Dapple, which is a gray, which I don't really have. So I thought it'd be nice to have a nice neutral gray, and that's coming out darker than it is in real life and bluer than it is in real life. I'm just not going to get it. The light's just not good in here this morning. But anyway, so I'll be looking for a project I can start on this. Yeah, 40 count. So, so that was what I got in that sale. I am still eagerly awaiting Judy's Stitchery Nook. She ordered some stuff from Mountain Air fabrics. They're another hand dyer that I haven't had a chance to try before. So I'm several of us are eager to see what comes when that order comes in. She ordered it during I want to say the market, but the thing that wasn't a market but took place around the time of market, whatever they called it. You can tell I've been really tired. The brain just isn't working all that well lately. They call it the expo? Whatever. You all know what I'm talking about. If you're stitchers, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so I was at Judy's yesterday. I've been trying to get over there because Judy has a one of those loyalty programs where, you know, she punches a card. I had totally forgot the last time I was there several months ago. I had finished my card. So I had, you know, like $20 of funny money, of, you know, my green card money to spend. And I found it a couple of weeks and I'm like, I gotta get to Judy's, I gotta get to Judy's. And hadn't had a chance to get over there. And finally got over there yesterday. And one of the things okay, so I think I've mentioned this before. When I see Judy get something in, or I see something new, I'm like, hey Judy, are you gonna get this? And then she kind of makes a stash for me at the store. So I have my, like, the stuff that I own in my own stash, and then I have a store stash that I buy from when I go into the shop. So I don't always like buy everything that's there, but this time I just went ahead and bought everything that's there. So I had a few silks that I needed for Hands Across the Sea Jessie Watson. And I already put those into the project, so sorry. You'll see them next time I bring that one out, which probably will be soon. I need to work on her some more. But this was in there. I've seen a lot of people with this one come into my garden. In fact, several people. I've finished it already. I don't know when I'm going to stitch it, but I'm going to stitch it. I think it's so pretty. And then let's kind of stick with the sort of samplery looking things. Judy was ordering from Brenda Keys, and she sent me an email. She knows me. Like, do you have this one yet? Do you want it? I'm like, yes, please put me on the list. So she had gotten them in. I forget when she got them in, but she got them in, and they were in the shop when I was in there yesterday. So I'm like, I'm gonna buy this now too. So I think this will come in handy when I want to personalize things. Plus it's just sort of fun to look through. And then there were a couple of things that I wanted from the expo, or whatever it was called, from Luminous Fiber Arts. I kind of go back and forth. You can get a lot of her, a lot of designers now, you know, you can buy the PDFs directly from them. And I kind of go back and forth whether I want a PDF or whether I want the physical chart. And I think it partly ends up depending on when I see it, do I want it right away or not? Or do I think I'm going to share that with Susan, and it's easier just to, you know, once I've stitched it, to pass on the physical pattern. Like oftentimes although I think I haven't bought her latest yet, I meant to. But with Michelle Bendy Stitching, when she comes out with something new, I'll often just go ahead and get it off her website. And then I realized I haven't shown you guys a lot of the stuff that I buy only digitally unless I kit it up or start stitching it right away. So one of these, when I haven't stitched on many things, I think what I need to do is kind of go through all the digital stuff. And actually I meant to show you a few things that I bought digitally next time, because it'll only be a week, so I won't have a whole lot to show you. Next time I'll show you some of my digital stuff. So anyway, I decided I wanted some stuff from Luminous Fiber Arts, and I didn't need it like right away. So Judy ordered me some, and then she also put aside some that she already had in the shop. So this was from the expo, Gathering Clover. I already had her gathering, I think it was strawberries. And I just realized that I meant to pick up the Belle Soie for this, and I forgot. So I need to ask Judy if she has it, and if she doesn't, to order it next time. And then this was another new one, BFF Bunnies. I already had her previous BFF one, which was kitty cats. Anyway, this is so cute. And then a couple that Judy already had in the shop that I wanted. I'm kind of sort of into holiday and calendar things. So this one is for Valentine's Day, a Bluebird's Message. I've got one of her other Bluebird ones. I forget. Or maybe it's not Bluebird. Anyway, she's got one that's sort of more 4th of July type themed ones that I was going to start stitching last summer, but for some reason I didn't. I forget why. Anyway, I probably have everything for it. I think I bought that one electronically. And then a Robin's Discovery, which is sort of Easter themed. So those are, and I'll go ahead and show a couple of the other patterns that I got recently electronically. So just the other day, hopefully this will pop up, I got Sarcy Girl's new one, Cabin in the Woods, from her Etsy shop. This iPad is too old and Dropbox doesn't work right on it anymore, so I just decided to go right to the Etsy. So that's really cute. In fact, I might put that on Dapple. Anyway, that looks kind of, because of the colors, that even though it's got flowers and stuff on it, it kind of looks more fall to me than summer. I don't know, maybe late summer, maybe like August. Maybe in August I'll start working on that one. And then Sarcy Girl is the one that did the 2020 pandemic sampler. Then I bought also the Little Women Sal Stitch Along from Sapphire Mountain Handcrafts for the Stitching Book Club. But it's just the front piece, so I'm not going to show that. And then I got a couple of patterns recently from Shadow House Stitchery. That's Andrea of Andrea's Cautionary Tales. She's started to design, and she has an Etsy shop. And I'm pretty sure my brother doesn't watch these, so I can say I need to stitch this one for my brother, who's computer geek. Oops. It says, "Didst thee clear thy cache and thy cookies?" And then she's got another one that I bought. Oops, went back too far. Come on. And then here's a really nice, I think a lot of us need this these days. Although things are getting better, inspirational self-care. It says, I'll show it here in a second, but it says, "May I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be peaceful, may I move with ease." And those little branches with the flowers on it, it kind of reminds me of like cherry blossoms or something like that. I think it's cute. And you could easily personalize something like that. Oh, here's somebody else did a slightly different colorway, or somebody with yellow flowers instead of pinky peachy flowers. So you could, pick whatever colors you want, and if you wanted, I could see it would be pretty easy to if you wanted to change a couple of the words to something that was important to you to remember. Anyway, and then there was one other one I wanted to show that I bought on Etsy recently. Sorry, this one's a little bit slow. Oh, I think I might have mentioned, yes, I've shown that one already. Clarissa Beaumont and Peruvian Cat's Reflection. I bought a little bit longer ago. And then the other thing I got at Judy's, the latest punch needle and primitive stitcher. I actually get this digitally also, and I didn't realize it had been made available, because when I checked a couple weeks ago, it said that the digital version would be available in mid-May. It was already past mid-May, but it wasn't available yet. So I need to go download it. But sometimes it's just fun to get away from your computer and look at pretty pictures. So I definitely want to do this one. because I love the sea. My dad was in the Coast Guard when I was growing up, so we always lived near water of some kind, either the ocean or the Great Lakes. And oh, I think this is so cute. I love cats. What can I say? This is from Lindy Stitches, and then there's lots of good stuff. Of course, like everything Barbara Anna does, I want to stitch. Here's her latest, and it's a mermaid. I love mermaids. For those of you that are new, last year for Mania, it was Mermania. It was all about mermaids. Have I finished any of them? But I will get back to them. Actually, I think the Barbara Anna one I want to work on this summer and try to get her finished. There was another one in here that I really, and here's another nautical one that is cute. There was one other one that I was like, oh, I really want to stitch that. Oh, it's the one here on the back. Teresa's Primitive Treasures with the bee skeps. I love bees and bee skeps. Well, bee skeps more than bees. But you got to have bees to get the bees, to have the bee skeps, right? Yeah, there was I think there's a cute one here from Kitten Stitcher. That would be fast to stitch, I bet. Oh, and I need to learn how to do punch needle or rug hooking. I actually have a little rug hooking kit. I need to dig that out next time I'm at our house in Corpus Christi. Oh, the Blue Flowers, Seasonal Heart. I'm a sucker for seasonal. I need to start stitching these. And oh, this one has a bee scout. Like all the bee scouts this month. I'm gonna have to stitch that because of the bee scout. I thought there was another one. Oh, here's a bigger. Here's the one I was just showing the back cover of. That is so cute. And it says be kind. That's my motto. Okay, I think that was all the stitching related haul. And I mentioned that I had some spinning related haul. I have 2 bags of fiber, Blue Face Leicester. And this one is this Shetland? Yes, Shetland wool. And why, you ask? Did she buy these? Yes, I do spin. I have a spinning wheel, and I have, let's say, more spindles than a girl could probably use in a lifetime. But most of them are like pretty wood, and I'm a sucker for pretty wood things. Anyway, the Woolery is having a spin-along starting June 21st. And I haven't really spun in a long time, and I've been wanting to get back into it, as I've been wanting to get back into several other crafty things that I do, including knitting and quilting. So I thought that would be a way to get into it. I had one of the fibers that they're recommending for the spin along, but I needed these, and they're not that expensive, so I just like, I probably, I think I had some of each in my stash, but colored. Because I've been in lots of fiber clubs over the years, and I just wanted something plain to play with. So I went ahead and bought those. And so I need to get my spinning wheel out. Actually, I have one of Susan's spinning wheels right now too. And I need to get that out and start playing with some fiber again. That's my tea. Tea out of the way. But I did want to also show you all some of my summery stitching things to sort of close this off. Right behind me, I have several things. Let me start with this one. I think this is a freebie. I don't remember it. So I stitched this in 2002, and I think Kim Holyfield finished this for me. or it might have been Susan. I don't remember. But I bought the button, and I think it was one of those, if you bought this button, this is just another company button, the pattern came free, I think. And do I still have the pattern? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? I've moved a couple of times since then, so who knows? Anyway, I'm sure I used, well, I'm not sure. I may have used the called for threads. I don't know. This was not the called for linen. It was just a linen that I had, I think. But I think it came out cute. And then I just had her, sent her some fabric, told her what color I wanted the cording. And so I'm hanging this one right here right now. Still have my spring up. And then behind me here, I have, this one is an old Silver Needle Night, one of their limited editions. So I stitched this in 2004, and I know Kim Holyfield finished this one. So this is on, I think this is called Betsy Ross. It's, I want to say 9 count, maybe 10. And then I'll grab this one here. This one is another Silver Needle Night. I think, did Kim finish this one or did Susan? Susan might have finished this one for me. Yeah, I think Susan finished this one for me. But I love teapots and teacups. Okay, so I love a lot of things. I make no apologies. I just have certain things I really like, I'm drawn to. Teapots are one of them. So, and you know, and it's nautical. So it's nautical and a teapot. Like, how could I not do this? Anyway, so I went ahead and did this. I finished stitching this in 2007. I'm pretty sure I went ahead and stitched this one when it came out. So probably this one came out in 2007. I was not in the auto ship then, but I must have seen it and like pulled the trigger right away as soon as it was available to non-auto ship folks. And I bought the finishing kit that went with it. So that will go back up here. And actually that fabric's a little bit faded because I used to put this in a window in the summertime and I think it got a little too faded. And then this one is another one, I think, did Susan finish this for me or did Kim? I'm not sure. This is Bent Creek. I think it was a zipper. And I had her finish it as a box. Might have been Kim rather than Susan, because Susan doesn't do bows. This is probably Kim. So she might have done that one too. Although I'm sure that bow came with the finishing kit. Anyway, this is Sweet Land of Liberty. It's a zipper. I did this back in 2006. But I like the way it was finished. Anyway, so I just thought I'd show you a few of my summer. I'll have more summer stuff to show you next time, which is part of the reason why, even though it'll only be a week and I'm not sure I'll have time to stitch on a lot of different things, I'm sure I'll have stuff I can show you next time. I think that's all I have. I'm trying to think, was there anything else? Oh, I did want to talk just a little bit about plans. So I've mentioned I'm thinking about pulling out some of my smaller things, like The Political is Personal by Michelle Bendy Stitchy. Actually have a sample, a little sampler from Little House Needleworks. I think it's called the Cat Sampler, that I started last year, that I might get out and work on a little bit. but I think that one's 2/2 because I think I've got it on 32 count. I do want to work on my hiragana sampler a little bit more. I haven't worked on it in over a week. It's this one here. This one. And I did finally buy the katakana sampler that I from both of them from Modern Folk Embroidery. They kind of go together. So I'm doing it all in one color. This blue from Needle Necessities 113, which is now, there's a Threadworks that's equivalent to this that in one of my other FlossTubes or on Instagram I've mentioned what it is, but want to try to work on that a little bit. I've mentioned get back into my spinning. I've got a virtual conference in the afternoons into early evening that I think while I'm on that, I want to start a pair of socks for my husband out of this yarn. It's self-striping. Oh, well, it's Regia. I think I got this from Yarnorama, but I think he'll like this. And I've not actually made socks from this yarn before. I've made hats. If you take self-striping yarn and hold it double and make a hat, the patterns come out really cool. So this is supposed to look like that. So I don't think there's black in there. I don't see any black. So maybe not. Anyway, so I'm thinking about maybe casting those on today or early tomorrow morning. So I have something to work on during the conference. I might actually get out some of my stitching. Or I could work on this. So this is a project that Susan started a while ago. And of course, when so like if one of us does something, there's certain things like we have some things that the other one isn't that much into, but there's a lot of things where we're both into it, and if one of us gets something, the other one has to get it too. This was one of those things. I think Susan's got hers almost finished, and I have one block done. This is English paper piecing, and it would be, I realized recently, why am I not working on these hexies when I'm too tired to do anything else? I know why I didn't do it this last year, because I was having so much problems with my right wrist, and I hadn't really figured out if I could do this left-handed or not. I've been doing all my cross stitch almost entirely left-handed. The sewing method seems to work just fine for me left-handed. So anyway, it's like I need to start working on these when I'm too tired to count or pay attention to my cross stitch. So I kind of got that stuff together in sort of a kit here. And then another thing I want to get back to is this one here that we've been working on. We're working on this combination, Susan and I. Susan kitted these up for us. So the Sewn In Friendship. And we're working on it on a 30 count beige, I believe. And this is what I have done so far. So we're each doing this half by the heartstring samplery, and then we're gonna switch, and then we're each gonna have the other half from Plum Street. So we'll each have something that is half stitched by us and half stitched by the other one, which I think is really cool. So I really need to get some more of this done. So maybe I could work on the letters. Letters I usually can handle because the counting is minimal. But there's this like border up here that I really need to get in. And then I need to put in the rest of the flowers down here. And there's just enough color changes and counting that lately my brain has not been able to handle it. So, and we are using the called for colors, except we decided that because of the fabric we're using, which is not the called for, the white here wasn't showing up, so we're using the pink. What is this pink called? Meredith's pink in place of the white that was here and up here. So it just wasn't showing up. So I think, and I'm not sure what else I might get up to in the next week. Who knows? Or in June. You know, oh, there was one other thing I wanted to show. So, I have winter and spring done. So I went to, I've had these for ages. I have all 4 of the Boxer Junior in this series of seasonals. So this might get worked on this week. We'll see. These are kits that it comes with the buttons and the fabric, and you just have to supply the threads. You might still be able to find these. I don't know if 123 Stitch has them because, you know, Lizzie Kate's not officially designing anymore. I know 123 Stitch has a lot of her stuff, but then some shops like Judy still has a lot of Lizzie Kate stuff. So if there's Lizzie Kate stuff that you're looking for, I would highly recommend that you Google Judy's Stitchery Nook and give her a call. She doesn't, she has a website, but you can't order from it. But if you give her a call and tell her what you're looking for, she might have it. Because I know she still has a lot of Lizzie Kate. She was on Lizzie Kate's auto ship for many, many years. And I still see a lot of Lizzie Kate when I go into the shop. So if you're looking for Lizzie Kate and can't find it, give her a call. She might have it. Okay, I think I really am done now. So thank you for watching, and no science today. The brain's still a little bit too tired, and the science I've been thinking about lately is more related to some stuff I'm teaching or getting ready to teach. But I've been thinking about some stuff I'd like to talk about in upcoming episodes. So I think I will definitely. Well, I won't. I don't want to say definitely. I'm pretty sure I will have Science Corner back in the next episode. And if there's particular science-related question that you would like me to talk about, or a topic you'd like me to talk about, don't hesitate to either message me on Instagram or put it in the comments. And thanks to those of you who have left comments, and thank you for all the new subscribers. Thank you to Andrea's Cautionary Tales and Abby Bella Stitch for giving me plugs the last few weeks. I appreciate that. And excuse me. And just want to say, make sure you take time to be kind to yourself and be kind to your neighbor. See you next time. Bye.